Hi there, in today's video I'm going to be doing an ultimate stroller comparison and review so that you can find the best one to meet your needs. I've tried out a bunch of different strollers so that you don't have to, and I'm going to give a brutally honest review so that you can make an informed decision. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and to the stroller comparison and review video. If you're new here, hi, my name's Elle and I'm a twin mum to 1-year-old twins, Revy and Rue. I've shared lots of videos on my channel as a twin mum and what some of our favorite products are. I did do a stroller review, I can't even remember how long ago, some months ago, but I thought that it was time to update that because now the twins are older. And also, as a twin mum, let me tell you, I know firsthand how important it is to have a good stroller. Not only that, but the stroller needs to handle all of my needs. So I know how tough it can be to find the right one for you. In this video, I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know about strollers so that you can determine what the right one for you is. A lot of people don't know where to begin, and that's because the process can be pretty overwhelming. But don't worry, I've got you covered. So whether you're looking to purchase your first ever stroller or it's time to update the one you've got, this video is for you. In this video, I'm going to be brutally honest in my review, but before I get into things, I have something that I need to confess. I have more than one stroller. Shocking, horrifying, I know. I'm joking. I actually didn't realize how controversial it would be or how triggering it would be for some people that we have more than one stroller. And I am so grateful that we do have more than one stroller, because what I've found out on this journey over the last year is that there is not one stroller that meets every single need. I've spoken about this on my Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, make sure you come over and say hi. I share our day-to-day life there as a twin mom and all sorts of things like behind the scenes kind of videos. And I got a lot of messages from people confessing, explaining that they also have more than one stroller. So it obviously wasn't a big deal to those people because, like us, they understand that different strollers are suitable for different reasons. As a parent of multiples, life can honestly be really challenging, really hectic, really chaotic, and as many things that we can have to try to overcome those challenges and make our life easier, we are honestly so grateful for. So in response to the people who have criticized us for having more than one stroller, I want to explain that this actually isn't something that is super uncommon. And there's a practicality reason about why we have the different strollers. Strollers can be really affordable to purchase, especially secondhand or if you shop the sales, because a lot of strollers are actually sold secondhand in amazing quality, and it means that you get them at an incredible value too. Different strollers have been designed with different purposes in mind, and I want you to bear that in mind as you're watching this video. Some are suited for an infant, whereas others are better equipped for a toddler or young child. One might be suitable for off-terrain, bumpy walks, whereas another is great for being in the city and navigating tight spaces in a city. Some strollers are designed with extra storage space in mind, or other special features that could be beneficial for you and your family, depending on what your needs and your lifestyle is. Having more than one stroller is not necessarily a sign of excess or indulgence. Rather, it can make life more convenient and easier, and it can help parents navigate their daily routine with a little more ease. Choosing the right stroller or strollers is going to depend entirely on your family and what your circumstances are. I actually wish that I knew this a year ago when I was originally looking for a stroller, because I genuinely believed that there was one stroller that would be perfect for us for everything we needed to do. And what I have since found is that that is very much not the case. I have yet to find that one perfect stroller, and I don't believe it exists. Instead, I really believe that it's all about writing down a list of pros, a list of cons, and really keeping that in mind and looking for a stroller that fits your budget and as many of those pros as possible. What cons are you willing to live with and what are deal breakers? There are many types of strollers out there, and in this video I'm going to be comparing 3 types that I have put into 3 categories. As a twin mom, this video is going to be geared obviously towards my experience with 2 babies and looking for the best stroller or pram that fits the needs of a twin mum and twin babies. If you have 1 baby or you have 2 children that are close in age, then I still think that this video is going to be helpful for you, particularly if you're not sure if you will have more children in the near future and you might need to use a double stroller. Let's talk about the different types of strollers that I'm going to be reviewing and comparing in this video. I've put them into 3 categories that I have labeled. I don't know if these are technically correct, but this is how I refer to them. The first category is an inline stroller, and I would describe an inline stroller just as a stroller that's kind of stacked on top of each other. You have 2 seats and they are stacked. They are normally either one in front of the other, or there might be one that's above the other, but it kind of keeps the stroller a bit more narrow, a bit more streamlined. The second category is a side-by-side stroller, and that is when you have the 2 seats that are literally side by side. They can be either facing you, facing out, or they might be able to be interchanged so that they're in different positions, but they are always side by side. So these strollers are a bit wider because it needs to be able to fit 2 seats, 1 on each side. And the third category I'm going to be talking about is a travel stroller. A travel stroller is an entirely different beast, and I obviously need travel strollers that are twin compatible. There needs to be space for 2 babies, 2 infants, 2 toddlers, because we have 2 of them. When I get messages asking me for advice about strollers, one of the things that I am commonly asked is for advice about what to look for when selecting a stroller. So I want to discuss some factors that I think you should bear in mind when looking for one that's going to be right for you. The first is budget. How much are you willing to spend? How much can you spend? There are amazing strollers at every price point in the market. So have a think about what your budget is, and then it's all about looking for the best option within that budget. This could be buying a stroller that's new, secondhand. Honestly, there are amazing strollers available for secondhand. When it comes to budget as well, some strollers really hold their value. So you might find that you're able to resell your stroller secondhand and reclaim a lot of the costs back too. Next is the terrain in which you're going to be using your stroller on. You need to make sure that your stroller is built for this kind of use, and primarily that's going to come down to the type of wheels it has. It's also important to take into account storage space. Many strollers come with storage solutions either in an undercarriage or basket or behind seats. You want to make sure that you can store all of your essentials on the go, and also that you're able to readily access your storage too, so that you can grab these items when you need. What is the size and the weight like of the stroller you're looking at? This is really important for a lot of different reasons. Does it fit in your car if you're wanting to transport it around? Do you live in an apartment or a small space? Is it possible for you to fold your stroller down? Does that make sense for you in the space you're in? Is it too heavy for you to move around? Can it fit through your doorway if you need to take it out the front door? These are all things to bear in mind. You also want to be thinking about the safety features of your stroller. Is there a 5-point harness? Trust me, you will need this as your baby or babies get older, because they can wriggle and get themselves out of harnesses. So having that 5-point harness is honestly a must. Is the frame and construction of the stroller sturdy? Are there brakes that are easy to use and access? Make a point to look at these safety features to see that they work for you. How comfortable is the stroller, and how easy is it for it to be maneuverable? The stroller needs to be comfortable not only for you, but your babies as well. Are they comfortable in it? Are there different positions for their seat? Does it work with the two of them, that it's comfortable for them? Do the handlebars move up or down? Are they at a right height for you? These are all things that are really important long term, because if using that stroller literally makes you feel uncomfortable or sore, then it's not likely to work long time. The stroller also needs to be maneuverable. You need to be able to turn it easily. It needs to be able to go in the right direction. The wheels can't be locking. All sorts of things like that is really, really important, especially when it's one of you, two babies. You don't want to make your life any harder than it is. So for the stroller to do what it's supposed to do is a must. What are the accessories like for your stroller, and what are the cost of these? Are they included with your stroller as a package, or are they really expensive, and when you add on the accessories it ends up being crazy expensive? Does it come with a rain cover for walking when it's raining or drizzling? Is there a little pram caddy for you to use on your handlebars to be able to put things in that you can grab out quickly? All of those accessories honestly are really, really helpful. So either if they come with the stroller and they are affordable, or you can purchase maybe dupes off of Amazon that also fit and could be compatible with your stroller. Those are all things just to consider and keep in mind. What is the weight capacity of your stroller, and how many children is the stroller designed for? There are some strollers that you can purchase that are a single stroller, but they have the ability to extend and expand into a double stroller if need be. Is this something that you might need? And that's kind of a hard question to ask, I guess, if you are just in the throes of things. Maybe you're pregnant with your first and you don't know if you'll have a second soon or a bit later, but this might be something that you want to consider and keep in mind while you're deciding about what stroller is right for you. Taking that list into consideration, I want to share really what my must-haves are. And this list of must-haves has honestly changed since I have now had experience with the twins. Before the twins came along, I did a lot of research on these big ticket items, and I would count a stroller as a big ticket item. So I read literally every review, watched every YouTube video imaginable as I was trying to decide what the best option for us would be. But I can tell you with certainty that my list of must-haves for a stroller are these things. And I'm gonna try to put them in order of what's most important. I think the number one thing for me is storage and being able to easily access the storage. The other thing that's really important to me is the size and the weight of the stroller. I need to make sure that it can fit in the boot of my car, the back of my car, and that's something to really bear in mind, because as the babies get older, you need not only a stroller frame, but you need individual seats, and all of those things take up space. The other thing that's really important to me is its comfortability and maneuverability. Those are the things that I really have kept in mind, as well as the overarching importance of budget. With two babies comes additional costs, a lot of additional costs. It's really expensive, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Dave and I have a strict budget that we adhere to, and we really look for ways in which we can make things as affordable as possible. So all of those decisions and all of those things that I'm really looking for, the features that are super important to me in a stroller, I need to find those within the budget that we've set ourselves. I'm going to be reviewing the 4 strollers we have. Yes, we have 4. I know that's going to upset some people, and I don't mean for it to upset people. Again, we are super, super, super fortunate and grateful that we've had family purchase strollers for us. We've been able to find strollers secondhand, and I have also partnered with a brand and been able to be gifted a stroller in exchange for the work that I have done with that brand. So keeping that in mind, that means that I have access to 4 strollers that I can review and give you honest feedback about. The strollers that you're going to be seeing in this video are the Edwards & Co. Olive. This is a double stroller. Bugaboo Donkey, it's an older model than the newest model that they have. The Babybee Duo 2, which is a double stroller. And the Baby Jogger City Tour 2 double. Let's get up and let's look at them a little bit more in depth. Welcome to our little review spot. Full disclosure, I haven't scrubbed or cleaned these strollers because busy. So they're not like a brand new condition because obviously they're very well loved and well used. So just keep that in mind if you're buying them. Obviously they're going to look a lot nicer new, or if you're buying them secondhand as well, I'm sure people have cleaned them beautifully for you too. Let's start off with the Bugaboo Donkey. You guys have seen the Bugaboo Donkey in the previous review that I did, and I filmed the side-by-side, which is the Bugaboo Donkey compared to the Olive, the Edwards & Co. Olive. And I explained at that time when the twins were newborn what our favorite stroller was and why. The Bugaboo Donkey is a beast. It is such a heavy, big, solid, sturdy stroller. The Bugaboo Donkey only just fits inside our house, down our hallway. It is a very, very tight fit, which is why it lives in our garage, because it doesn't actually fit through our front door. We literally can't get it out our front door when it's assembled like this. But the Bugaboo Donkey is something that we use every single day because we regularly take the twins for walks around our neighborhood. So let me talk you through some of the pros, some of the cons of the Bugaboo Donkey. A pro is if you have one child, this is a single stroller, or it has the ability to be in single mode, and then you can expand it to be double if you need to. We obviously have only ever used it in double mode. The Donkey has incredible storage underneath in the underbasket, and I use it all the time. I also always make sure that the storage basket is well stocked, so I make sure that I have a mini nappy bag set up underneath in case I need it. The Bugaboo has great shades as well, canopies on the seats, which are great for protecting them against sun, wind. You can change the direction of the seats to be facing you, facing out, or have them in alternate positions depending on what your baby or infant's preferences are. I also love the Bugaboo for the fact that I really feel that this stroller is one that is going to go the distance. It's going to work, I really think, from when the twins are newborn to when they're older, because of how sturdy and how big it is. The stroller is also really comfortable for me pushing it. I can adjust the handlebar height. It has really nice padding. It's easy to maneuver around. And it's also really comfortable, I think, for the babies because they have slept in the stroller many times because the seats can recline all the way back. Thinking about some of the cons of the stroller, the first con that really jumps out at me is price. It is very expensive. We were very, very fortunate to have family who pitched in to purchase the stroller for Dave and I. But now that I have experienced it for myself, I understand why the price is what it is, because you are really purchasing something that is durable and it's really high quality. But with that cost also comes the cost of accessories. We had to purchase an additional bassinet for the second baby and also an additional bucket seat so that it would work in double mode. The other con for me personally is the weight and the size of the pram. This one is really hard to get into our boot and it takes up a lot of space with the two bucket seats. And it is a heavier frame because it's a really solid and sturdy frame. That's why we just keep this one assembled and we just use it for walks around our neighborhood, which we do every day, twice a day, some days, most days. So it gets a lot of use, but taking it out of the car, folding it up, that kind of thing, it is on the heavier side. So that's just something to bear in mind if you're looking for something that is easy and fast and lightweight. One thing I want to mention as part of this review, and this might be just unique to twin mums, but it was something that I only learned after experiencing the strollers each on their own, and I want to share this information here if you're looking to purchase a stroller so that you know as well. When you are bottle feeding your twins out and about before they can hold onto their own bottles, it's really helpful if you can reach and hold both of the bottles for the babies. One thing about the Bugaboo Donkey that is a con is this large handlebar here means that you can't get it close to a table. You have to first reduce the handlebar size, which is fine because it's really easy to move the handlebar up and down to bottle feed the twins when the handlebar is up really high. It's really uncomfortable holding your arms like this, so I always had to make sure if I was at a cafe and I was sitting down holding both bottles that I did this first. And this actually was really comfortable to hold this position while they finish their bottles. Next stroller I'm reviewing is the Edwards & Co. Olive, their double stroller, and you've already seen a lot of this stroller on my Instagram and also in a previous YouTube review video that I did. But now that the twins are older, some of our needs have changed, so I want to share some updated thoughts on our experience with the Olive. First up, the Olive is seriously unmatched on how streamlined it is, how small it is. It is seriously the size of a single stroller, but it's a double. It's crazy. It's an inline stroller because the seats are positioned one on top of the other. This stroller was my go-to when the twins were newborns because we used the Edwards & Co. capsule, the Avery capsule, which we absolutely loved, and it meant that we could just click the babies out of the car because the capsule was their car seat, and they clicked straight into the stroller. It was amazing. One thing I loved about using a capsule on the Olive was that once both of the capsules were clicked into place, it meant that the storage basket underneath still had a lot of space, and it was really easy to get to the storage basket because the capsule was sort of lifted a bit higher. Now the twins are using the bucket seats because they've outgrown the capsules. So this is where the different pros and cons of the Olive come into place. I'm going to start with the cons with the Olive because there are only a couple and there are way more pros, and I like to finish on a positive. The cons for me are the storage. Especially as a twin mum, I come with a lot of stuff. I use a backpack as my nappy bag, and it does fit in the Olive, but once it's in, that's it. There's no space for anything else. That is part of the design though. The whole purpose of the stroller was to be streamlined and was to really cut the fat so that you have the smallest, niftiest stroller available. But sometimes it can be really challenging to get the bottom baby out from their position. In order to get to the storage, if I have my nappy bag down there and say I need to get it out to be able to change the bottom baby, it's kind of like a game of Jenga where I have to move the right puzzle pieces in the right order. I have to first take off the top baby to really get to the second baby, and then once I have the second baby, the bottom baby out, I can then remove that seat and get to the nappy bag. That's because there's not really enough space just to reach down to unbuckle a baby and reach in and grab them out through the top. I think it goes without saying that the biggest pro really is how compact and streamlined the Olive is. This frame is super lightweight. It's really easy to put in and out of a car. It takes up very little space, which is incredible and really hard to find with a double stroller. This stroller gave me so much confidence as a twin mum in the early days. Going out with two babies was really nerve-wracking. Super nerve-wracking. I was really worried about being able to fit in places, that I would get somewhere and become stuck. I never had any issues with the Olive because it literally can go anywhere. When it comes to the accessories, we have the coffee cup holder, because obviously I spend a lot of time with this stroller in the city and I would like to walk around, get a coffee or have a drink of water to rehydrate while I was strolling. And we also have the pram caddy. The problem is when the stroller is in double mode, it can sometimes hit over top of the seat at the bottom. So this means that you really can't put a drink or anything that could spill in there. This stroller also comes with canopies for both of the seats. The canopy size is different. The bottom canopy is shorter than the top canopy, and this is part of the design. It was designed this way because with the seats being so close together, the bottom canopy can't come over as far because it would hit the seat. Feeding both babies a bottle in this stroller is also manageable and doable by yourself. I always just try to get the stroller as close to me as possible, and then I can reach a hand in each way. I use the Olive a lot when the twins were newborns and small, and I know that I'm going to use it a lot as the twins get older, but right now, because I need to carry around so much stuff, it's not a stroller that I use as frequently. It is one that I always go for when I need to go to a space that is tight or compact, or I know that I'm not going to have a lot of space in our boot because it takes up so little space, and it means that I've still got storage for other things. But this one is incredible if you're looking for a solution that is going to navigate small spaces, or also if you have some of the Edwards & Co kit already and you don't want to have to reinvest and buy a different capsule, all of that kind of stuff. This is an incredible stroller and one that you won't regret having, but just keep those different things in mind to decide what is the most important things for you. The next stroller is a new one, and this is one that sometimes I will get messages on. Have you got another stroller? Is this a new stroller? What stroller is this? You're about to meet her. I love her. She is great. This stroller is the Babybee Duo 2. It's an inline stroller, meaning that the seats are on top of each other. One of the reasons why I really wanted this stroller was just because of how much storage there looked to be in this stroller, which is one of my top priorities right now with how much stuff I have to take with me everywhere I go. I have literally just taken it out of the boot of my car because that's where it lives. You can get bassinet attachments for the Babybee, but we obviously didn't need them. We just have the frame right here, and we have 2 bucket seats. It's really easy to assemble. Just grab the handlebar and it clicks into place like that. Without any bucket seats on, you can instantly see how big the storage basket is. In this double mode, we have added on these little extensions, which allows us to sit the bucket seats up higher. There are lots of different seat configurations that you can choose with your seats. This is the one that we use pretty much 99.9% of the time. The Babybee is a solid pram, but it's actually still super maneuverable and lightweight for what it is, which I love. It's not too heavy for me to be able to get out of the car, and it's really, really easy for me to fold it up and also for me to assemble it on the go when I'm in a hurry. There are pros and cons to this, of course. A pro is that both babies can see what's going on, and it also means that it's really easy to be able to get to both babies. You can remove the top baby or the bottom baby without having to disturb the other. And having the seats up higher means that your storage is so easy to access. With one click of the button, you can move the handlebars to be so high, which Dave loves because he's a lot taller, and then it's very easy to adjust them down as well for me. The bucket seats on the top and the bottom are the exact same seat, and that means you have the exact same canopy. You have 2 size options in both of them. You can either have it as a shorter canopy, or you can unzip it, which expands it out even further. This is the only stroller we have that has a brake pedal like this, where it's just a sort of a twist. It's also possible to recline the seats, but they do both have to be reclined back for it to work. You just press these 2 buttons in and it moves so easily. There's also 2 buttons down lower, which is for the footbed, which can be moved in a different position, which is really important because the top needs that foot pedal to be down for the seats to be able to fit as best as possible. It is possible to recline both of these seats back, but you do need to change the position in which the babies are facing. So one baby can face you and one baby can face out, and that's the best way for it to work, for you to be able to recline the seats back like a bed. One thing that I was blown away with the Babybee was the cost. I purchased it on a Black Friday sale and it was so affordable, and it came with all of the accessories too. The one accessory that it doesn't come with and that I can't purchase that won't work with this is a coffee cup holder. Instead, the caddy is designed to be your coffee or drink holder. So it goes in here, which isn't perfect because it can spill a bit easier, but it's the only option. Otherwise, this caddy is great and it lets you store your essentials. When it comes to feeding both babies bottles, it's also really easy to do it by yourself with the stroller because of the way in which the seating is designed. You don't have to hold your hands in any strange positions. It's just literally like that. You can do it standing, sitting. It's really, really easy, which is super helpful and great. A couple of cons about this stroller is that, first of all, I don't know of any place in New Zealand that stocks them in a shop. So this was a complete act of faith, seeing if this stroller worked. I couldn't really find a lot of reviews or information about this stroller online. So I bought it without sighting it and seeing it and testing it out myself in person. But they did do a free 30-day return where you could return it absolutely free of cost if you assembled it, tried it out for yourself and decided that it wasn't for you. And that was why I was willing to take the risk. And the other con is how long it is. So even though it's pretty streamlined and narrow because it's just the width of one stroller, it's very long. It's much longer than the Olive. So some places are a bit tricky to navigate. And that is something that just with confidence over time, I'm learning how to use this stroller. But personally, when I'm out shopping with the twins or just like looking around stores, I prefer to use an inline stroller instead of a side-by-side because I find that I can get around and move around the spaces easier. The last stroller in this video is one that you've seen, and this is one that I absolutely love and could not be without. It's our Baby Jogger City Tour Double. I love it so much. This is our travel stroller, and if you want to see it in action, make sure you go and check out our vlogs when we went to the United States last year when the babies were 6 months old. Originally, the plan was for us to take the Olive. That's because we needed to take a double stroller. We didn't want to take 2 single travel strollers because if we were each pushing a stroller, it meant our hands were tied up with pushing a stroller. And if we had a double, it was just one adult pushing one stroller that had 2 babies, and it meant that one adult's hands were free for bags and all of that kind of stuff. The reason ultimately we didn't take the Olive is the Olive isn't a travel stroller. Why does that matter? You can absolutely get by traveling without a travel stroller, but there are a few things to bear in mind if you choose to do that. Number 1, if you're using a double stroller that isn't a travel stroller, you'll need to make sure that it is checked in at the baggage check-in area. And that means you don't have any ability to use it in the airport. Having a travel double stroller meant that we didn't have to check our stroller in until the gate. This will sometimes depend on the airline or if you're flying maybe in like a smaller plane, that kind of thing. But we were able at every airport we went to, on every flight we went to have our stroller with us as we went through security, have it around the gates, and then check it in before the flight. The other amazing thing about traveling with a travel stroller is that it's all in one. When you get it out, there's no faffing about and having to click in seats and that kind of thing. It's just one piece of equipment. So I absolutely love it for that reason. Travel strollers definitely have their cons because they aren't built as heavy, as sturdy, although I really like this frame on this. I think it holds a lot. This pram is honestly just one of my absolute favorites. I found this on Facebook Marketplace. We literally purchased it not long before our trip because as I started looking into the baggage allowance and also being able to fit it in our rental car, I was thinking about the Olive and how much space it would take up with all the different pieces. When I found this travel stroller, Dave jumped on it. We went and got it and we purchased it secondhand. We did have to replace one wheel and we purchased the accessories just to make it a bit more comfortable for us and the twins. but it's so good. Unlike the Bugaboo, this stroller is actually really narrow. It fits in so many places. Another con of the stroller is the canopy. The canopy is so short, which is why I bought extenders and we traveled with extenders. I have a dedicated video which has my pram setup for travel, all of the things that I take and how I even add to the storage of the stroller, which I will leave linked down below, which has links to everything we have. And the storage underneath as well is really easy to get to. You can just grab in and get things without having to disturb any baby, which I like. The seats are all in one, so you can recline the seat easy by just pulling the toggle down and the seat just goes down. So this way you have a flat seat, bed for your baby or infant to sleep in. Although we don't travel all the time with the twins, I love that we do have a dedicated travel pram available to us. So it's something that I couldn't live without. And in those moments where we know that boot space in our car is going to be extra tight, then this is a great stroller for us to grab because it fits with minimal additions because it's just all in one. One of my favorite things about this stroller, which worked amazingly for travel when we traveled with the twins, is how easy it is to feed them when you're by yourself. The stroller is super easy to maneuver as well. The wheels are great after we upgraded that wheel, but I can literally hold it with my feet in place underneath and hold the bottles for the twins, which was incredible. And I did this all over the place. This stroller is actually how I got really confident with feeding the twins on the go and saw that it was something that I could do. So I'm really grateful to the stroller for that little boost of confidence. If you're trying to make a decision about what stroller is right for you, I really hope that this video was helpful. If there is any more information you want to know or a particular question you have about a particular stroller, leave it in the comments below, or you can always DM me on Instagram. My Instagram is linked. Come over, say hi. I know how hard it is finding the right stroller, and I hope that me sharing my experience with our stroller is helpful to you as you make the right decision. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. The support means the world to me. And if you're new here, make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss a video coming very soon. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.